Forever, ever.
It's a long time. Forever this shit.
Chills down my spine right now. Thinking about it. Born in fear.
All right, we back with the second segment. This is your host, Adam Mill from Guessillsayit podcast. To my right, left is.
Sit cuz the governor.
On Digital, what's up?
And we're here with a special guest, Jambo One.
Hey, peace, what's up?
What's up? Now, once again, I apologize because I gave the rules of engagement and I didn't follow it. Goddamn, I'm working.
Oh.
Okay. Second segment is 42. Personally, I love it got me back into loving hip hop. Right? Because I remember when I was in Georgia, and what was that? 09. Say 09. But when we did when did we do Art of Dying, dog?
I do not remember the year.
09. No, it was had to be. Anywho,
Right.
TDE got me back in love with because I love their style. It was different. They gave you that nostalgia, and when you listen to them, it doesn't come off as a West Coast type of shit.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
And they daring. You know, they're very creative and they push the button. You know what I'm saying? And I love artists like that. Kendrick is gone. Me personally, his last album, as far as Kendrick Lamar we talk, his last album didn't do well for me. But I appreciate the artistry. I appreciate the bars. That's that. I was expecting more, just like I was expecting more from Schoolboy last project, Crash Talk. And to me, that album crashed. And he tried to blend in a newer generation with him. And then when I went into Crash Talk real quick, I was thinking Blank Face, which is a classic, right? I was thinking Blank Face, and knowing that when you're dealing with TDE artists, they never give you the same project over and over again. Like Ab-Soul, his last project. It was totally different from the previous projects before, right? So I wanna know from you guys two songs that Schoolboy put out there. Album drop on March 1st. Two songs are Back in Love. When you saw it, just give me your take on what we get from Schoolboy so far on this new project.
Well, I like his abstract. I like the way that he approached both of them. It's not like they follow the same traditional song format. Like he's in and out with it, you know? Like as if it's almost like a freestyle in a way. It kind of give me that feel, like the old school in a circle backpack type freestyle feel is what I caught from it. Plus the way and with the jazz, it works for it works with his voice. You know what I mean? That's
the jazz you talking about Blue Side?
That
was Blue Side when they had that jazzy feel, that old school feel.
Right.
Yeah, and that was a contribute to the late great what's his name that passed away, Mac Miller. There was a song dedicated to him, right? And I think it was very dope. So, we just predicting right now, playing Notre Dame. March the 1st, what do you expect from Schoolboy and TDE? Do you expect a great album, or do you expect to crash like the last album? You expect?
I mean, given the way he's debuting it, I guess it depends on what's really what the rest of the artwork. I mean, no, not the rest of the album has on it, but like single, like as far as singles go, like what is the singles? You know, what are the hits? Does it actually hit? I think that's really what's going to determine that, honestly. Uh, but I mean, he's
Because
solid.
it's not a traditional thing. I mean, Kendrick, he couldn't give you something. What's her name? The girl who married. That's crazy. I'm not too into pop. The one who married ASAP Rock. What's her name?
Rihanna.
Yeah, he's not going to give you that 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 single with Rihanna like that, like a Kendrick would.
Right.
Or so a lot of singles that Kendrick had on Damn and Pepper Butterfly. He's not going to do. He's not going to do the. Well, no. Stand corrected. Schoolboy is. The Schoolboy to me is the most livest one. He's the most amped up one. And this is what really threw me off. And me, I'm saying to myself, oh, I'm going to get a very album. The Schoolboy, when you look at, hold on, you look at Crash Talk, which is the one I least like. When you look at his other projects, more amped up. You get what I'm saying? He's more because he was Kendrick hype man. He's more fiery. You know what I'm saying? This one is this one to me. It comes off more personal. What he's been gone, stuck in the house at the Matt Miller's death. He called for him to come outside. He's been a prison in his own home. So I'm expecting more of a personal album. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be hard to find that. It's going to be very. It's going to be interesting to see if he has that anthem he normally has. Well, Bezel, what you think?
It's a little boring. I'm not gonna lie. It's it's boring. I just can't. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's very boring. Um, the album's probably gonna fail. Because I see a lot of artists, they go to this soul-seeking journey type album, route, especially when they've been inactive for a few years or months and they try to go into this lane. And we've been seeing it a lot. I think people are going to what's popping right now instead of just making good music. Is that I don't think it's that hard. You know what I mean? To just make a good song. And I feel like going back to what you said on his last album when he was trying to get more newer artists and go for that newer feel, I feel like they should kind of stay in their own lane. There's so many artists like SZA and Rihanna to put on your song. So many artists, like Jid, to put on your song and still make it unique and give it that good sound, that modern sound. I just feel like I can predict what this album's gonna be. You're probably gonna have like one good song, one like amped up song, but it's probably the rest of it is gonna be him do a soul seeking journey type thing, and I'm not really I'm not really for that. Because I think you just came off an album like that,
I get you. One of my favorite female artists that don't get a lot of shine from Chicago is No Name. And I gotta be in the mood to listen to her. You get what I'm saying? And maybe because sonically it doesn't agree with me, and I'm gonna go on record and say this because MF Doom is one of my favorite rappers, if not the favorite lyricist of all time, in my opinion. It took me a while because he's acquired taste to sink in sonically his whole creativity. You get what I'm saying? And I get it, no one, because the last album, Big Steppers, people left depressed. People left confused. Some people, it was needed because they were going through these situations that Kendrick was going through. It was relatable. And I think that this album probably, getting back to Schoolboy 2, I think this album is only going to design, for what I'm hearing so far, he designed this album for people that's going through like a suicidal depression. You get what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but he's targeting a certain audience, and outside of that audience, he really doesn't care for their ear. But if you want to listen, you're welcome to enter this house, but you're not invited. That makes sense. So, Jammer One, what do you think?
It's kind of hard for me to answer because I don't really listen to Schoolboy Q. But from what I heard from the tracks, I thought the tracks were pretty dope. I enjoyed them. I mean, I also could understand if somebody says that that they're kind of boring because it's in that vein. It's like it's like in that more introspective vein of things.
Perspective, yep.
And I don't know, like if those are his singles, man, it's probably not looking too good for him because a few years ago he was lit. He was one of the big boys, and it's like been a steady decline. I don't know if that's because he hasn't been putting out a lot of quality music, or I don't know if it's like TDE's way of doing things, but between Kendrick and SZA, they like held that label together. Maybe Isaiah Rashad, I don't know. I think he might be a little bit more popping than Schoolboy Q, but I don't know.
Yeah, because Isaiah, his music was. I remember him and Chicago Mick Jenkins had a little crashing of the type because their sound very similar, right? And if you're into that type of feel of music, that type of music, you see very similarities in him and Mick Jenkins' music. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. You are right, Jamar. Kendrick and SZA has been holding that house up. And now that Kendrick is gone, the foundation, right?
Yeah.
And it's weird.
The thing is this. It's like Kendrick had such like a powerful presence, not only on his label, but just like in the music in general. And Schoolboy Q, as his label mate, is expected to be on or close to that level. But he don't seem like he's at that level. He's just, he just seemed like a hood rapper who got some talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might get one here and there, but yeah. Like I wouldn't really expect much from Schoolboy Q. The people who are fans of his might be there. Of course, they're going to be there to support him, but I don't think TDE is really expecting Schoolboy Q to fill Kendrick's shoes or anything like that. In order for that to happen, they need to get a whole new roster of artists over there on their label.
Yeah,
and I hope that's something that they're working on because like SZA is eventually going to leave, and then what are they going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So from what everybody's telling me, they could be in trouble. They don't get like a special artist like a Jid.
Yeah, they need to find themselves a couple of fresh new faces, new stars. Music is crazy right now, though. Music is crazy right now. If a label can't find a star, I could understand why, because music is literally all over the place, and it's hard to gauge anything.
Are you guys familiar with Reason?
No.
About the album last year, it's called Fortunes. It was dope, man. It was, but it was just he came on a couple podcasts and he was, displaying his dislike and this, uncomfortable, his disdain for TDE, how they handle their artists, stuff like that. And when I listened to it, I don't know if that was staged. I don't know if that was genuine. I don't know if it was a little bit of both. When I was listening, his interview, I said, okay, I'm already a fan of Reason. So let me go listen to this album, Fortune, right? So when I listened to it, and that's another thing too, real quick, digressing. The last four TDE albums, Crash Talk, Schoolboy Q, Herbert, I'm pronouncing it right, by Absol, Kendrick Lamar, his accident out of the label with Big Stepper. None of them had black hippie.
Mm.
None of them. None of them. So my thing is, I want to go off topic as they united as we think they are, as behind the scenes turmoil, but Reason was supposed to have been the next up in line savior for TV. And Porches did not do well. Although it was a dope album, it was slightly underwhelming, but it did not live up to its expectations. Getting back to what you were saying, Jumbo One, I don't think they had that artist right now on that roster that could fill Kendrick's shoes. Not gonna happen, bro.
I want to say one more thing though. You know, it's funny because we reviewed our guest today. We were doing a review on Jammer One's album, and I felt like that album I brought back that 2018 vibe I felt as a teenager. It was a very diverse album, you know. It didn't leave you too boring. It didn't leave you, okay, he's just going one direction with it. He had, of course, his mindset on what he was doing with the album, but it had a lit song. It had a song you can relax to, you know, a song that you can play while you're reading a book and playing a game. I personally was listening to some of the songs while I was playing the game. So I feel like it's not really about too much of the roster they have on it. It's about the type of albums they're making. They're not trying to make #1 Billboard albums. You know, I think they're just letting them put out anything and be like, well, we need the money, put out anything. Put out anything right now and just see what sticks to the wall. I feel like they need to make more like Jamawan type albums and like go back to the basics, go back to the early 2000s, go back to where they started at. They gotta go back all the way back to the basics. And I think maybe if they went back and utilized their artists like that, I feel like they would have something and they would be at more Grammys.
It's two problems with that. One, they're signed to a label. So it's not like, and this one made Killer Mike album that we talked about in the last segment so special. He's not signed to a label.
Oh wow! I didn't know he wasn't signed.
Yeah, and the Grammys took note of that, and this is why Travis Scott went to a tantrum the way he did because I don't believe he signed to a label, right? So I overheard in one podcast they said if Killer Mike would have presented Michael to a label, they would have chopped half of the album in half. So getting back to Kendrick and TDE, the reason why you're not getting that you're not getting effect of TDE artists versus Jambo Wan's albums. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're independent, right? So you're independent.
Yeah.
Jambo, okay, so he doesn't have to go to a board, a big about the culture. Say, well, you know, we like the album. I guess I'm gonna leave this here, but we're gonna leave half of this here. You go back to drawing. He doesn't say that, bro. You get what I'm saying? So
they trying to find the stuff that's going to sell, and you can't. You literally cannot gauge that. Like no artist can go into a studio and say, "I'm going to make the greatest song ever." You gotta that happens purely by luck and chance and all of that other stuff. Exactly. You know what I mean? It happens via experiences. You can never gauge that.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
Many times you'll hear that many of your favorite artists' biggest hits was not their favorite.
Right. Or it was an accidental song.
Like Shook ones from All Deep. You hear that all the time from Havoc. He said they hated the song. And that was the best song on the album.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they hated that song. And it was the best song on the album.
That's like that's their iconic hit. Like their all-time iconic hit, the Shook one.
Exactly. So I think that's the problem with TDE. That's what they're suffering from. But to give Top Dog credit, though, he does give them freedom and leeway. And, you know, now you can get on him with, you know, Top Dog and TDE for not releasing an artist when he's supposed to be released. Behind the scenes record label issues. You know what I'm saying? But I won't discredit him by saying that he's made his artist self. If anything, TDE, the reason what made them so successful, they was allowed to express themselves more than anyone else. I think J. Cole was another, J. Cole and the record label he was under allowed J. Cole to get the range and the freedom with his artists as well. But I just think that right now, me personally, I think I'm gonna listen to it by me being a fan, and I'm gonna enjoy it because I think, Gov, you said this on the last podcast. An artist is gonna let you into their world. So if they're feeling a little down and depressed, that's what you're gonna get. Prepare yourself for it. Now, if everything's going hunky-dory in your life, I don't suggest you play it. Does it bring you down? You get what I'm saying? But if you really follow this artist and you really want to know what he or she's going through, let's give it a listen. You know what I'm saying? Because they're expressing themselves and what they're going through. And you get what I'm saying? So, like on the project that I'm working on, there's a lot of personal stuff on that. You know what I'm saying? But I do grab myself and say, I don't want this to be depression. I want people to try for me and feel let me make something for a little bit for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Let me make let me get back into the art and craft of hip hop. I don't want it to be totally about my problems. I want nobody people and jumping off of buildings. And so me personally, I'm expect great expectations of this album. I enjoy it. I feel I'm going to enjoy it because we're getting Schoolboy and what he's gone through the last few. Any last words from anybody?
No, I'm good.
Good, Gov, you good? Good.
Yep.
Okay. All right, real quick. Future, we're gonna play Notre Dame here. 1 to 10. 10 being classic, 9 being worth listening to, 8 being dope, 7 being worth to listen, 6 is cool, 5 mediocre, 1 to 10. What you give it, girl? I'm just, what expectations?
Based on them,
Yeah.
based on them two. And I'll put it right in the middle. I'll put it right in the middle. Like it seems
5 and that. About 5. All right, that's fair. What about you, Quan Bizzle?
I mean, a strong 3. I could see it was like a rainy day.
I knew it.
I mean, like, I'm gonna say a strong 3 for me.
I knew it.
A strong 3 for me. I could give it a 0, but I'll say a strong 3 for me. I could see myself based on like those like 2 songs. I could probably like see myself like listening to it, driving a car, on like a rainy day or something like that. You know what I mean? But those songs are probably made for a particular day. I don't feel like it's something I will listen to like every type of day, every other day type thing. You know what I mean? But that's just me.
You gotta be in the mood for it.
Yeah, I gotta be in the mood for it, basically.
Jammer One, I know you're not familiar with our number system, but from 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest, what did you give those 2 songs? Based on those 2 songs, what did you give? 10 being the highest.
I would give the hold on, what's the titles? Let's see. I would give the first one, which was it? I was just looking at it.
I think it's Back in Love, and then you had Blue Side.
yeah.
Blue Side was dedicated to
I give the second one, the more laid back one, I'd give that one a 6.
Right.
And the other one I would give like a 5.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Well, I don't think they're bad songs. I actually think they kind of cool. Like to me, that's what a 5 and a 6 is like. Oh, this is cool. I can groove with a little bit. It's not like something. It's not like something like, oh, this is kind of dope.
yeah.
That's where the 7s, the 8s, and the 9s come in. You know what I mean? But if it's like mid, like in the middle, it's not bad. It's not necessarily all that good either.
Gotcha. And that's another thing too, from us being in when it comes down to singles, like you said, Gov, you're throwing out what you believe is the best of the songs or on your album to draw people in and give them an idea what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
So indeed, like you said, Gemma One as well, if these are your 2 singles that you're dishing out, you may be in trouble.
Yeah, right.
You may be in trouble, So, but he has his core fans, and Shout out to Cool Boy, if you ever watched this, man, you know, from MCs to MCs, we love you over here, man. Keep doing what you do. No matter what we say, you always gonna have your core audience that love and Jamba One, I'm sorry. Jamba One, tell us where can we see your work at and you know. Yeah.
It's on all the streaming sites, wherever you listen to music. My name is spelled Jamma, then WUN. So yeah.
Make sure y'all go look at that. Support, and you know what I'm saying, support our artists, man, especially at DMV. And I hate using that term, man, because it's like you're limiting. You know, we got to represent where we come, but it's like a limitation. You know what I'm saying? I think that we're so talented here in the DMV that we need to be worldwide. You know what I'm saying? So go check out those streaming sites. Listen to Jamma One. He's a dope artist. He swing with the big boys. The only difference is that he's not on the stage of Travis Scott and all these lazy writers and these wishy-wash writers, man. I'm gonna say it like it is. You know what I'm saying? They don't, you know, this man takes time into his craft, and you'll see that when you listen to his music, that he cares about the culture. I'm your host. No doubt, man. I always love to give people their flowers, man, before they push up dates. You know what I'm saying? I always thought it was a great deal of disrespect. Somebody dead and gone. Mind him from afar. Wait till he's dead and gone where he can't hear, and you just want to give him all the flowers in the world. Me, that's so disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? So we want to give you your flowers while you're alive, man. So go ahead and pick up, listen to that music on the streaming site.
Appreciate it, man.
No doubt, man. I'm your host, Adam Mill. To the right and left of me is
Because the governor.
On Bizzle.
And you rocking with your favorite act, One.
Money life no easy. Make money stay busy. Thank God we breathing. Many souls in the prison, but you don't know. Money life no easy. Make money stay busy. Thank God we breathing.